Joining us now, House Judiciary Committee and former U.S. Attorney, Texas Congressman John Ratcliffe. Congressman, thank you for being here this morning. So some hope the Inspector General looking into it would be enough. You are joining a chorus of people who believe that may not be enough and a special counsel may be required.
I do think that a special counsel will be required because of the jurisdictional limitations that the Inspector General would have at looking at these FISA abuses. I'm a big fan of Michael Horowitz, the DOJ Inspector General, but he doesn't have the ability to compel testimony from former DOJ and FBI officials or testimony from folks at other agencies like the State Department. He can't convene a grand jury. He can't seek search warrants, and he can't prosecute crimes. So I think the good news is that the Attorney General, I, and others agree that these FISA abuses need to be investigated to see whether they resulted in actual crimes against Americans. But who the best person is where we may disagree.
Congressman, I think
in terms of investigation.
Yeah, good point. I think what a lot of people miss is if you're going to have the Justice Department and the FBI basically investigate itself, this is the very definition of why you may want a special counsel, because you had top people at the FBI like Mr. James Comey, like Andrew McCabe, people over at Justice like Bruce Orr and others who were pushing through this FISA application. How can the Justice Department and FBI investigate itself?
Well, that's a great point, Ed. And beyond that, you still have folks at the Department of Justice that were involved in the process. So to include the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who signed off on the most recent renewal application of this FISA application. So for all those reasons, I think the American people would be concerned with the Department of Justice investigating itself in this circumstances, given everything that we know. So why not appoint someone from outside the Department of Justice, give them a very narrow mandate to look specifically at the actions in 2016, 2017 as it relates to these potential FISA abuses. I realize that there is fatigue out there with the American people regarding special counsels, but I think if it's narrowly crafted for the specific issues that we're talking about, I think it's the best way to restore confidence for the American people in our justice system and the officials at the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Representative, our Attorney General Jeff Sessions says he's looking into a special counsel. What takes it from looking into to appointing of one? What would change that position?
Well, he's being advised by some really good folks, and I'm, again, very glad that he's taking a thoughtful approach and he's looking at these FISA abuses, you know, which are really beyond debate, and whether or not ultimately folks can be held accountable by the Inspector General. I'm of the opinion that ultimately he's going to be persuaded that the Inspector General doesn't have the ability to hold those folks accountable, and that he's going to have to appoint someone from outside the Justice Department. I certainly hope that he makes that decision, but he is looking at it thoughtfully, and I think that's a very good thing.
All right. Congressman John Ratcliffe, we appreciate you coming in, bringing your insight.